So you want to learn how to speak Canadian, eh? Well, today on Tishy Dilko, we're going to help you do that.
อย่าลืมกด subscribe ให้พวกเราด้วยนะคะ
Sawadee krap. Hello and welcome to Tishy Dilko. Today we're going to talk to you about slang and conversational English that you'll hear pretty much all across Canada. But before we get into that, make sure to turn on notifications, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any content from us. So Canada is a big country, and like the United States, we do have very regional slang and conversational English depending on where you are in the country, especially if you think of the East Coast provinces like Newfoundland, New Brunswick, but also French Canada and the province of Quebec. And we're not really going to be focusing on those today, but really just slang and conversational English you may hear regardless of where you are in Canada. So we do have a few different categories to share with you. The first one is clothing. Even though I said we're going to be talking about Canadian in general slang, I am going to give a shout out to my home province of Saskatchewan and share the slang term bunny hug. Bunny hug is only said in the province of Saskatchewan, but it is slang for something that's worn all across the country and even all across the world. So bunny hug is a hooded sweatshirt or a hoodie. And as far as I know, the slang term bunny hug is only used in the province of Saskatchewan in Canada. Next, toque. So, toque. Toque is what you'll see people wearing all across Canada in the winter months. It is the beanie or cap. There's a variety of styles that go over your head, keep your ears warm. So it could be wool, it could be polyester, acrylic, etc. But a toque is something to keep your head and ears warm in the winter. So another one that is, again, everyone wears them all across the world are runners. Now, what are runners? Runners would be the exact same thing. In the UK, you'd hear trainers, or in the US, you'd hear sneakers. So generally in Canada, while we do say sneakers, trainers, most often they can be referred to as runners. Another slang for something that sits atop your head is a lid. So lid refers generally to a baseball hat or a baseball cap. So again, it is just a hat. It's a hat that sits on your head and it can often be referred to as a lid, just like lid, cap on the top of a bottle, lid on your head. And the final slang for the fashion theme we're going to share with you is tarp. Now, tarp, would be a slang generally used, though not always, by, male friends joking around with other male friends. And a tarp is your shirt. So you might hear a phrase like, tarp's off. It's the summer, take your tarp off. They're referring to your shirt. Our next general theme is shopping and money. And most countries maybe have some slang term for their currency or the money they use in the country. And in Canada and North America in general, the slang for our dollars is bucks. So bucks is something you'll hear quite often. So to use it in a sentence, oh, that new truck is big bucks. Are you sure you can afford it? The second slang term for specific to Canadian money refers to our $1 and $2 coin. The first of which, our $1 coin, being known as the loonie. And why it's called the loonie is that for a number of years, the feature on the coin is a loon, which is a bird that lives all across Canada, especially around water, and has a very distinctive call. So if someone is asking you for a loonie in Canada, they're referring to a $1 coin. So in 1996, Canada actually replaced its $2 bill with its $2 coin, and maybe not so creative of a name, but following the nickname loonie, Canadians started calling the $2 coin the toonie. So we have the loonie and the toonie for our $1 and $2 coins. So to use both those coin slangs in a sentence, do you have a loonie and a toonie? Parking for the day is $3. The final slang term in the shopping money category refers to probably one of the biggest Canadian brands well known across many parts of the world, and that is the Canadian coffee establishment Tim Hortons. It started from a professional hockey player named Tim Horton. A lot of Canadians love this brand and drink the coffee and other goods from that brand daily. So the slang term used for Tim Hortons is Tim's or Timmy's. You'll hear this regardless of where you are in the country, regardless of if you're talking to an older person or a younger person. If they love that coffee, you'll probably hear them refer to it as Tim's or Timmy's. So to use that slang in a sentence, someone might say or give you a call and say, oh, I might be a bit late. I just have to stop by Timmy's and the drive-thru might be lined up. Our third general slang category is going to be of the food variety. And since we just finished talking about Tim Hortons, there is one slang term that we use in Canada as a result of that brand being so popular. It refers to the product donut hole. So if you don't know what a donut hole is, it's called that across many parts of the world because it's the little round ball that's essentially a donut, but it looks like it's what you popped out of the donut hole. But in Canada, Tim Hortons serves that product as their branded name, Timbits. So that is what donut holes are referred to in Canada as Timbits. Keeping in line with the dough food-based slang, we're going to bring up the term elephant ear or beaver tail. Now, elephant ear is a term that's used all across North America, referring to it's generally fried dough with icing sugar on it. It's a sweet pastry carnival treat. But in Canada, we also can refer to an elephant ear as a beaver tail. And it's generally the exact same thing. Fried dough, icing sugar. It can be, long and flat. It's sweet, a little bit crunchy. And in many vendors will sell it, with maybe a maple syrup topping or other sweet topping. So elephant ear, beaver tail, same thing. Another one to call out, and maybe not so much slang, but it does reflect the indigenous population of peoples we have in Canada, and that is fry bread or bannock. So these are two different things, but kind of in the same family, where fry bread, again, would be more of it's a fried dough, a little bit sweeter, but not thin and crunchy. Whereas bannock is more like an indigenous scone or biscuit that would be served warm with jam and butter. Finally, probably the most popular one, especially if you are traveling between the United States and Canada, is soda versus pop. So soda and pop both refer to cola products, anything essentially made by Coke or Pepsi, and all the varieties underneath those brands. In the United States, largely, they say soda. There are a few states that do say pop, but generally, United States is soda. And all across Canada, for the most part, we say pop to refer to those cola products. So our final section for today is to speak a little bit about conversational style. And there would be so much we could go into, so we thought we would pick maybe some that are funny, but at the same time could be confusing to point out. The first of which being, depending on where you are in Canada, ending a sentence with a or hey. So ending a sentence with a or hey is the exact same thing. And the reason why there's two is kind of just regional. Though I can't say for sure, I tend to experience adding hey more to sentences more in Western Canada. Myself, for instance, I don't generally say a, it would be more hey. Whereas in more east of Canada, places like Ontario, you'll hear a more often. You're kind of making a statement and adding the a or hey at the end comes with a question mark. So it's statements like, it's cold out today, eh? Like looking for confirmation. And it's really nothing more than that, but it is slang that's added to a lot of conversational language in Canada. So these last three conversational examples all generally fit together, are probably a little bit confusing, so we'll go through. Number one, yeah, no means no. For example, if I were to say, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Obviously, that means no, even though it starts with yeah. Conversely, no, yeah means yes. If I were to say, no, yeah, I'll visit next week, meaning I will visit next week. And finally, yeah, no, for sure. This means definitely yes. For example, if I say, yeah, no, for sure, we'll definitely be there, that is a resounding we're coming. So these are only some of the most common Canadian slangs, phrases that you'd hear pretty much all across the country. We know there's a lot more we could go into. And in fact, if you are in Canada and have heard any that you want us to, go into further or know what it means, feel free to leave a message in the comments. We hope this was helpful just to give you a sense of maybe some of the most common phrases that aren't so well known across the world. If you are coming to Canada, these would be ones that would probably help you in day-to-day conversation. I've been smirking and laughing a little bit throughout the video because I do find a lot of Canadian slang funny when I'm purposely speaking it. But honestly, in day-to-day conversation, I probably don't recognize too much of what I'm saying and how I'm speaking. It just is natural. So again, thank you so much for watching. We really hope this video was a little bit fun today and you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, comments, ideas for other content, please let us know. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and we really hope you have a great day. Sadi Cup. Bye. So for example, saying no, yeah.
What?
How would I say it?